Welcome to another edition of Team Talk, and this is going to be about Chelsea and Manchester United. Shegun, are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready for this. Great to be here.
Awesome. I'm happy to have another time with you for this amazing Team Talk. Shegun, let's start with your team, Manchester United. Shegun, Amorim was sacked, and what do you think about that? Firstly, I know you have done a content about it, but I want you to give our Team Talk fans something about what you said. What did it mean?
Was it a surprising news? Because when we saw the way the trajectory of the stuff had been going, I think I expected it. Yeah. I expected something was going to happen, and it's for me. I think it was just sad because I felt the way I saw the games, the way I analyzed the games. Yeah, I felt it was building something. I felt it needed. I felt they had just started the foundation of what it was building. I felt it needed much more investment to get to where it was going. Okay, we saw certain dynamics of the play in Manchester United that we felt was good. There were certain parts of the game he wanted to implement that became more solid. Like for example, Ahmad Mbuemo's partnership. We saw our midfield becoming a little bit more controlled. We saw Eden Evans central back being a left footer. We saw Matthias deleted. So there were foundations that were being built. Yeah. But I felt that the board did not believe. Maybe they could not see what it was building. As many people could not see what it was building. And the belief, wasn't there for him. And I think ultimately when you have a situation whereby a lot of people also were using it for personal gain. Yeah. A lot of poor analysis, false analysis, lies in terms of analysis were carried out, which I've said many times, that people were doing it, for mischievous reasons. But ultimately it's gone now and United moves forward. The club continues.
Now the part I want you to talk about, Shegun, now is, what do you think pushed the ball? Because I've been hearing so many things on the news. Some people said it's about the 3 at the back, 4 at the back, and there was a news that came out that Wilcox was angry at why he's not using 3 at the back. All these news, what do you think about them first?
I think it's a combination of many things. I think it's a combination of, first of all, tactical combination. It's a combination of investment in the squad to build the squad. It's a combination of also the fact that there was pressure from outside. Legends, fans, media, consistently writing against the manager. Anytime he wins, it's not the system that wins. Exactly. It's maybe something else. Or individual brilliance, when he loses, it's the system that loses.
Other team is bad.
And so I think it was a combination of a lot of things. I think everything played a part in it, but I think ultimately it was just a fact where they didn't believe in what he was doing. They didn't believe in it ultimately, and they decided to let him go.
But if they don't believe in him, let's go back in time about this period last season, almost this period. It was January, the November period, whereby he told them, I want to come this season, a full season. And they say, you have to come now. If they don't believe in him, do you think they are going to tell him to come that moment?
So I think first, that's one of the things that Manchester United is suffering from, and it's still going to suffer for years and years. Okay. Is the fact that we don't have, and I keep saying this, that whether it's a player or a manager that you want to go for, you don't go and fit into the manager. The manager comes and fits into you.
Exactly.
So now it's just like for every job, you want to employ somebody. You don't just go and say who is out there, what can they do, and come and do. No, you define what you want. United has not yet defined the kind of football we want to play.
Exactly.
That's why you can see that someone cannot decide to go and get 3 at the back manager.
Yeah.
Which I've said in one of my content that there are 80% of managers play 4 at the back, but you overlook the 4 at the back and went for the 20% that's playing 3 at the back. It took one manager there. And a few months into the game, we are now saying, we are a team that plays 4 at the back. Because we ourselves as a club, we are confused. We don't have an identity of how we want to play football. And that's one of the things that made, for example, Arsenal's project to appear to be a success.
Exactly.
Because they have an idea of what they want. United doesn't have an idea. I don't know that. Yeah, Amorim has been sacked now. We are still going to make that same mistake because some people will say Emery, some people will say Glasner, some people will say Simeone, some people will say, because the fact is, we think it's just about bringing a coach.
Yeah.
He just knows not about that. Except if the coach is a Pep. And Pep is not Pep alone. Pep is Pep because he has a style of play.
Exactly.
So I think we should move our agenda or this thing from the manager and look at what style of play is he bringing. Is that what we want? If we had done that for Amorim, we analyzed it together. Then why we going for a manager to play at the back?
Yeah.
If we had done that, we would have understood that it's not about Amorim. It's about what he's playing. Nobody cares about what the manager is. It's about what are you playing. And I think that's what I see, because some people are saying bring Simeone, some people are saying bring Ole. When Ole, we forgotten that when Ole was in the club, we complained that it was transition football, counter-attack.
Yeah.
Let's look at the style of football first, not about the person. And I think United will still keep making the same mistake, because insanity, what the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing continuously and expecting different results. So that's it. We go for names, we don't go for systems.
Now, let me just now that we're in that tempo, the board.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about this board. And they came in like they know what they are doing.
Yeah.
And we had some rumors from Ojini's fans saying that these people are not capable of taking your team to the next level. I don't know how true is that. But what do you think? Do you think the board know what they are doing?
I think before I thought they knew what they are doing. But now, it's not just that they don't know what they are doing. They are spineless. There is no manager. Now, let me say this clearly. There is no manager you bring to Manchester United that the media will not criticize.
Exactly.
There's no manager you bring to Manchester United that they will not criticize either his training or the style of play.
At what point? So was so nice.
Are we, or how many managers have they said the training is outdated? So, but the board don't understand that if you are letting the manager go because of what Gary Neville, Carragher are saying, Carragher and Gary Neville, the same people say criticize Erik ten Hag.
Yes.
They don't criticize Amorim. They criticize Mourinho. Schools so they will criticize every Manchester United manager. So the question is, do you want to keep changing managers all of a sudden because they are criticizing the manager? So sometimes you yourself have to have a conviction. There's a popular phrase, they say, he that has a why, Nietzsche, will bear anyhow.
Exactly.
We don't have a why.
We don't have a why.
Why are we playing this manager? We don't know. People just think it's just about Glasner. His name looks nice. Have you seen how Glasner plays football? We don't know. And the fact is, when we now come and start saying, let's do analyzing, they will now come and say, and we are blind loyalists. You understand these kind of things? Yes, I think the fact about it is the fact that people should not look at names. Let's look at the systems. Let's analyze. And that's what we're going to be doing. And that's what we always do on this podcast.
Yeah.
We don't look at the names, we look at the systems, and we analyze the systems.
Now, this will now get back to the style of play in Premier League, because obviously we know Amorim play three at the back. And I want to take this out. Against Man City, against Chelsea, the last man they played, we saw the build-up play was three men at the back. Why is it that these three at the back is constant hammering from this press?
Our national team, the last game they played three at the back in build-up.
Even Tuchel is playing three at the back.
Everybody plays three at the back in build-up. It's just either three at the back or two at the back. And two at the back means the team is very, very adventurous. Yeah. Like maybe a Bournemouth, or sometimes an Arsenal, even Arsenal says many drops into the center. Exactly. The fact is, these things, not everybody understands it. And one thing about football fans, I'm sorry to say this, is the fact that once we don't understand something, we say it doesn't work.
That's true. I've seen that a lot.
But let us try to, because everybody does it now. Yeah. But it's just that, as I said, I just feel that let us look forward and let's see who we get. So
do you think Amorim, for his statement, that's the last thing we're going to say about Amorim, then we want to move forward, was wrong by calling the board out?
Amorim is an obsessed human being. If you notice, if you do a psychological analysis of Amorim, Amorim wants to win. Amorim thinks he's good. I believe there's something. I believe there's something in there. But it's just that when you come to United, even shining diamonds become like rough stones,
Yeah.
And but the fact is that he knows what he wants. He knows what he was promised. He knows why he came, because they give him the opportunity. He's a system manager.
Exactly.
And I think United should not go for any system manager anymore.
They should just go for
anybody that can
use any player.
What's available. Because you cannot call a system manager. To me, it's wrong. To me, I say the major brunt of this issue is not even Amorim 3-4-3 or the like. It's the board. Why are you going for a system manager that has told you?
We said this in our last before he came on board.
We said it now. Why are you going for a system manager that has told you this is exactly how I want to play? And I think we have to get the way we don't have money to spend and everything. I think we have to get a manager where the manager can use what is available.
Yeah.
And maybe that will help us. But getting a system manager without willingness to spend, and seeing what it ended up in disaster. So I think United, I hope we have learned. I hope we have learned. But looking at the way people are calling out managers now, without calling managers like the spectrum of football, you call Simeone in this side, you call Xavi in the other side. Imagine you are looking for a job, and in the same job you're looking for, right? The same job you're looking for, you are calling Simeone and Xavi in the same space.
In the same space.
It means it's a confused club.
Hopefully.
Confused, going for Diego Simeone and Xavi in the same talking space. You are a confused club. You don't know what you want.
Hopefully, we hope Ineos knows what they are doing. Hopefully. Now, let's finalize this here with, what do you think Manchester United next coach should be? Okay, which type of coach do you think? You have said a little bit about it. Who do you think will fit into Manchester United way? Because they have not told us the Manchester United way. We know the Manchester United way of Sir Alex Ferguson. Which way do the board have? And at the same time, who is the manager that can fit into this?
Funny enough, I don't know the manager that will fit into it. But if I was the owner of Manchester United, as I said before Amorim came to the club, my first two managers I will look at is
I was trying to push you.
Nagelsmann and De Zerbi. But I know that I have to spend money. I know that I have to spend money.
Wow.
And I think United needs to understand that it doesn't matter the manager you are bringing. You have to spend money. You have to change. We are still running away from what Ralph Ragnick said. Open heart
surgery.
We are still running away. We are still doing little patches. You know, the Bible even said you cannot pour new wine in old wine sack. It's that same thing we are doing.
Yeah.
So there are some foundational things that we cannot run from. Break it and start up again. All these patches. But I left to them. But if I was the owner of the club, that's what I'll be doing. And I will maybe as the owner, I'll be giving press conference every week.
Open heart surgery.
We are going open heart surgery. Whatever you want to write, we are sticking to our process. I think that's what it matters, because it's not like someone that is. Let me give this analogy and then we'll move on. Someone that is hitting
the same position,
same place, trying to break through. Whatever boy outside is wasting his time, but he doesn't know that sometimes it's the last one that you hit that breaks you. And United most times, since after Sir Alex Ferguson, when we start a process, it's when we are almost at the last one that will break through for us. That's why we cut it and start again.
Exactly. And that process is a very tiring. It's not a good one to the fans.
Yeah,
now, let's leave Manchester United because we need to talk about Chelsea.
Yeah, amazing. Let's talk about Chelsea.
Now, Shegun, they spent over $1 billion plus in a team, and yet they are still struggling. Now, Chelsea board. Let's start from the sack of Maresca. Similar situation, but in different circumstances. What do you think about Maresca sacking?
I think it was a shock also. Even though I understand that I complained many times about the football that Chelsea has played this season.
It's quite boring.
I felt that the changes in the squad were too much. I said it earlier this season that it's crazy when you have two new strikers in a particular window.
Season.
It's crazy when you have your wingers, 3 of your 4 wingers are new players. It's crazy when a lot of your dynamics of your team that you had last season, you lost them because of the numerous changes. So it was always like Maresca was always having to start again and again afresh. And when we now begin to see also that some of the players that were bought were not necessarily what he wanted, it's really, really funny. But I wish Maresca all the best, really. I feel that having understood what has happened in Chelsea, I believe he can go elsewhere and become a fantastic coach if given the free hand to do what he wants to do and to play the way he wants to play. But Chelsea also is just like Manchester United. There's no vision. Chelsea is even more so. Chelsea is a club that has lived without a vision.
Yes, they are visionless for a long time.
And I think that Chelsea's history has never been the only vision for Chelsea that they win things.
Exactly.
And I think sometimes when we look at Chelsea sacking and bringing managers in, with all the sacking and bringing managers in, I think they still have 6 Premier Leagues.
Yeah.
And sometimes you look at it that What if they had just gotten one and stuck with the person? Maybe
things would have changed.
Maybe by now they were gotten more. But for them, they feel they are successful. But the fact is, they have been successful in moments. They've never had a period of dominance.
Just like that pattern of game this season.
This is also a moment, but not pattern of period of dominance. But I feel that a lot of stories came out from that Chelsea backroom that the media did not capitalize more on.
Exactly.
Because obviously United stories will come out. But I just feel that it was terrible decisions they made, or they forced Maresca to make, and they made for him. I think it was good that Maresca left that club. And because, it's a managerial rules. Football coaches' rules are creative rules.
Exactly.
You don't stifle creation. And that's what even Amorim was there. I think Amorim said he felt it was micromanaged.
Exactly.
And Maresca also felt it was micromanaged. And nobody wants to micromanage.
Exactly.
Geniuses don't like to micromanage.
Yeah.
I believe Maresca is a very good coach, if he can get the right conditions to succeed.
But there's a lot of shocking reports that came out.
Yeah.
Number one, the first of them is the owner of the team always in the dressing room.
The board and everything.
With the board and everybody before and after the match. I felt the dressing room should be a sanctuary for the coach. What do you think about, and also about the substitution?
Yeah, I think that's one of the things we are beginning to see in modern football. There are many things that are beginning to overreach.
Exactly.
First of all, the medical department, which you also had about
exactly.
Fitness departments, and sports science and the likes, they are overreaching. And that's the truth. And also the board overreaching. And that's why I said it in one of my last content I did about Manchester United. I said something that now I think we have to start calling out sporting directors.
Exactly. I think this is the time for people.
If you are the one buying players, having the veto to buy players, once the players are not performing, we shouldn't say it's the manager's fault.
We should call the coach.
Let's call the sporting director. Now you buy them. Why are they not working? Exactly. But the fact is that many times we just put blame on the managers and the players. But I think now is the time where we start calling out the sporting director, start calling out the upper echelon. You understand? Because many of these decisions are made by them. And the manager is left stranded.
So terrible. Now, on a lighter note, because I just want to lighten the mood, there was a case of, I had it, I don't know how true it is. There was a case of when they asked Maresca, what do you think about Garnacho? And he said, it's fine player. And they said, we get him. Do you think the era of manager or a coach having say on players being bringing to a team has gone to an end?
Obviously, for most teams now, it goes to an end. The fact is now we're between our sporting director, technical director of recruitment, scouting department. I begin to have people that, first of all, have never coached in their life.
Exactly.
Most of them is data, and maybe they were scouts before.
And AI.
And AI, all those things, that's what they use. And these people, and funny enough, I have no issue with them buying players.
Yeah.
If they are the ones determining the profiles of the players. Because we all know as analysts what we are trying to do is the fact that when you want to play, maybe you want to play 4-3-3, 3-4-3 in your system, each position has profiles.
Yes.
Who determines the profiles?
That's true.
Most times it's the manager.
Exactly.
If the manager is the one determining the profiles, then the manager should have a big say in the kind of players that come in. Because he's the one that knows, he's the one that has the vision.
Vision of...
It's just like you call a painter that has the vision of what he wants to do, right? And then you now collect the pen and say, I will paint it for you. The vision is in his head. He's the one that will paint it. All that you do is that you direct. You understand? You direct the manager. And I feel nowadays, it's just like these managers, they've gone to the coaching school. They have a philosophy. They have an idea of how they see the game. But when they come to clubs, they collect the pen for them and say, we'll draw it for you. And when the drawing is not fine, they will now dump it to them and say, do your thing. And you understand, it doesn't make sense. The managers determine the profile of the players. And so the managers should have a big say. I'm not saying 100% say, but a big say in the kind of players that are brought into the club. Because
there was one that happened with Jurgen Klopp. He wanted what's his guy named Grassler. But they gave him Salah, and Salah was amazing. Do you think that's the flip side of it?
That is the flip side of it. But the fact is, how many times does that work?
That's true.
Sometimes football is not just about data. Football is also about the eye test.
Yeah.
Football is also an emotional game. It's also about the feeling. It's about movement. It's about the frequency. As a manager, you don't just change.
Connection.
As a manager, you don't just change because of stats. Sometimes you sense that this player can do well in this game. It's, you know, and we should not we should not make it robotic.
Yeah, it's becoming that way. It's becoming
robotic, where people just believe once I punch in stats, the player that appear at the front is what we are getting, irrespective of what the manager feels. And now when you not bring that player, the manager will not be the one that will be forced to use the player. It doesn't make sense. The manager should have a big say. And I think we're beginning to see that managers, especially Maresca now, Amorim now, are beginning to revolt against that system. It shouldn't be like that.
Now, that will not lead me to this thing. They said most people are saying they are coaches, they are not manager. So can you just elaborate between these two?
So I think that's what it means. So a football coach is someone that is just like a football coach.
Okay. Just coach the team.
Your own is just coach the team. Players are given to you to coach the team. Okay. But we have to understand that in as much as that is not a bad idea, we have to understand that there are managers that are system managers.
Exactly.
Maresca is a system manager. Amorim is a system manager.
Guardiola is a system manager.
So if you want system managers, then do employ system managers when that's your style of doing things. System managers want to detect who comes into the club.
Exactly.
But I think the way we have to look at it, the fact that whichever way they do it, if it doesn't work out, they still take the brunt of it.
Exactly.
So why don't you? It's not like you are punishing somebody, but you don't have the person, you understand, to take the risk.
Exactly.
So let them take the risk, understand, and also take the reward or the the repercussion of the actions. But I feel a lot of people are, you understand, a lot of clubs are not running well, and we're beginning to see Manchester United and Chelsea and the fallout.
Now let's talk about the next manager of Chelsea, Leon Rosenel. What do you think about him? So
I think the way he appears is the fact that he's a manager that is willing to listen to what the board is going to tell him.
How do you know that?
That's the way it appears, because obviously he knows what is the conditions on ground.
I get Maresca also have the condition of ground too.
Yeah, Maresca knew that, but you also understand that Maresca also, when he was coming from Leicester City, was a very unknown manager, and when he won the Club World Cup and everything, the status was different.
Exactly.
He wanted to push for more. The same way this guy is coming from Rosenborg, even Amorim was coming from Sporting. So many times it's just like upcoming artists, they see a contract, they sign. Later when you don't the deal, because they say no, I want more. That appears to be the case. So I think Liam, the next manager, I think he understands the conditions on ground, and he understands that he might not be able to play his preferred formation.
Yeah,
he might have to make tweaks, and if he's fine by that, they would have had the discussion. And if he's fine by that, so welcome to the club.
I guess Strasbourg, he has already made a lot of tweaks to the game too, because at one point off the ball he played 4-2-3-1.
In fact,
sometimes 5-4-1.
Everybody, even Amorim was playing sometimes off the ball and on the ball. But the fact is, nobody cares. It's the basic formation.
Now, the basic formation for him now, because at one point, because I did a bit of research on his pattern of play. He during the goal kick, he played 4-2-2-2. Just like this man, Ravnadik, during the goal kick, that means dead balls, dead ball, goal kick. Now, on the ball, sometimes you go with 4-3-3, sometimes you go 3-5-2. So, and basic.
What was the basic?
Basic formation is the problem here.
What is basic?
Basic formation is the problem. And the basic formation is 3-5-2. So that
the fact is that a lot of football fans don't understand the dynamics in the game. What they see is the basic. So he was willing to be able to try explain to them that it might start a 3-4-2-1, but in the game it changes, or he just adapts.
I guess he has to adapt.
So, and I feel he has seen what happened to Amorim, so he better adapt.
Maresca too. You have seen now.
Yeah, exactly.
Should we now? Football fans, what should be the ideology football fans should have now? Because it's getting to a stage whereby everybody in the game have a say. So what should football fans what should they take out of this present situation?
And so I think football now, obviously, to some of us, football is kind of like a job. We analyze what we see. We understand and we consider things like process, that let's give it time. Like I see it's working here, let's give it time, it will get better. But to some, football is still entertainment. And it's about the instant gratification. It's about the banter. It's about what I can get from it right now. And so people don't care about process. And when you say you are seeing something that can be good in the next 1-2 years, they don't care. It's not good now. They don't care. And so and in as much as we cannot say one is better than the other, it's good to enjoy yourself when you're watching the game.
Exactly.
It's good to just enjoy yourself and see goals and be happy.
I'm happy. Good.
It's also good for the other side that looking at the tactics and the shapes and say, okay, this is what they are doing now. This is what they are doing off the ball and on the ball. You cannot say one is better than the other. It's just preference, Abi. But I think the fact is we have to understand that everything in life has a process. And I understand the fact that, yes, there can be instant success. But when you look at long-term success, consistent success, it takes time. It takes a process of building. It takes a process of building. And I don't think it's going to change. I think if there are bad games, managers will be called out.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what football has now turned into. Instant gratification. You understand? And maybe we'll just be whoever is able to succeed in
1 or 2
years. And if he doesn't succeed, they sack him, maybe another person. And maybe at one point, maybe the top managers would have coached in all the clubs. I don't know, there'll be any club for them to go to again. And we'll now know what to do next. But I just feel that we have to do better in football. We have to, and that's what we try to do. We have to analyze better. And people need to understand that things take time.
Now, check final thing. Chelsea game, the way they approach the game, is always based on transition, no matter the team.
That was under Maresca.
Do you think this will continue under the new coach?
So let's all see. It's coming middle of the season, so we don't know how quickly he's able to create some dynamics in the team, especially Chelsea is a team that is still in all competitions. Then the Champions League, they are still in all competitions. So let's see if he's able to get enough time on the training ground. I don't expect much. What I expect is that he tries to help himself by getting results. So that they don't call out for him. He's a young manager. I wanted to be successful. So, but the fact is, just get wins now and gradually, you understand, building that dynamics in your team. And maybe in my next season, we can begin to see them play more beautiful football.
But what is he going to do when they sell off all the players that played with him in that little period and bring in new ones?
We'll start again only.
So that is a terrible.
We start again. That's it. So
now, but right now, when you look at the Chelsea squad, I guess I'm coming from the angle of the board now. When you look at the Chelsea squad, we are saying this squad should do better because we spend billions on this.
So let us see when the manager comes. We know if they'll do better. It's not just on paper. Let us see where on the pitch. They have qualities.
Like I said,
but we cannot say now until when we see, first of all, what's the manager going to play? What system is he going to play? When we see that, we begin to analyze as it goes. We begin to analyze their games. Are they playing out better? But obviously, they have players that can play better football.
Yeah,
but also, the fact is that they also have to make sure that there's consistency in the team so that they can consistently build on the dynamics they have gotten. You understand? You can't be using Neto this season and say Neto should go next season or Garnacho should go this season and come this season and go next season. You understand? We need consistency so that the players don't even understand themselves. When you see Saka, you see Odegaard in Arsenal. When you see Salah and those guys, they've been there for years. They understand the game. So I think you should also be patient to have consistency. It's not just about inflows and outflows.
Transaction.
Yeah, so you shouldn't just be about that.
Oh, God. So finally, is Chelsea and Manchester United, do they have the same problem?
Obviously, they don't have vision. They don't know what they want. And they focus more on managers and not systems. Okay. Just about who they bring next, who's the manager next. They don't care about the system. They will definitely have bips of success along the way. One FA Cup, one Carabao, or Club World Cup. But they might never have consistent success if they continue that way.
Oh, God. Check any addition.
No addition. That's all for me.
That's all for you.
That's all for me.
So, guys, we have talked at length about this. There are so many things we have to add to it, but we have to make it short as possible, even though it's not this short. But if you have anything to say, put it in the comment section. Write it down. If you believe that Chelsea is not a transition team, put it there. If you believe that Chelsea can do better, but in fact, let us hear your thought about Chelsea and Manchester United. Till we meet again, stay fixed to Vatican Football Podcast. Bye-bye.